What's up, guys? Shujin Kun here, and today I'm going to be talking about the start of Future State. And the first issue I'm going to be covering is Superman of Metropolis. Now I'm going to be hitting some key bullet points, and then I'm going to go into little subcategories for each one. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is the design of Superman, well, the new Superman, whatever. I'll just say Superman so it's easier. Now, for starters, I want to explain how his design works and differentiating him from the original Superman, as well as giving him a little bit of his own flair. Now, those of you who picture Superman, you always picture a buff blue Boy Scout with a big red cape. Well, the new Superman design is actually more slim, which I feel like is a really good detail to have. Because if you've seen John and in Super Sons, you see that he wasn't, well, he was a kid, but still you can see buff kids or big kids in the series. So having him grow up to become a Superman who was less slim and with longer hair at that is honestly a really good change, as well as giving him his outfit from DC Comics' Deceased Dead Planet, but without the cape. And I think him not having a cape also works with his design as a whole in keeping him separate from the original Superman. Now, some personal preference I have is I think they could have went a different route than his Deceased Dead Planet outfit without the cape. But at the same time, I'm also happy they didn't really just do like another Superman with like a longer face, 'cause that's kind of what they did in Dead Planet. Also, I probably wouldn't have gone with the insignia on it. I know like it's a staple to have a Superman with an insignia on the chest, but I probably wouldn't have put it on the chest. I probably would have maybe just put it on his belt and then has something else on his chest to keep him, again, like I said, separate from Superman. Even though he is supposed to be the new Superman, but that's just my little nitpick. And the way this works and keep him unique is, as I said, his first off, his physical features is different, and I can't really just put it into words. I think I just really said most of it just now. Now, as for the story and I'm going in the art first. The art of the comic is completely amazing. I can't even front. It looks like something you would see an artist like Jim Lee draw, but slightly less, I'm gonna say bulky. Because if you know the artist Jim Lee, he does very muscular drawings of characters, as well as what's the terminology I want to use? I'm gonna say box face. He does like box faces, so a lot of the shapes of faces, or heads rather, look really, really similar. Now, as for the story, the here's a little brief rundown of it. Spoilers for those who haven't read it yet. But at the start, we're not given a real story to start with. We're just given like a plot. It feels like if you're just getting into comics and say you're just getting into the Superman comics, and instead of starting at, let's say, issue 1, you start at issue 53. That's how this feels. We're just hopping into the future state with Superman, who's been Superman for insert X amount of time, with his aunt Kara, or cousin aunt. I don't really know how it works, but it lacks an opening, which makes it hard to really follow through and stay interested with the story. But that's my own personal. I like it a lot, but I would have been happier if they had a story. I'm happy they didn't have an origin story, because we already basically know his origin story. We don't know how he became Superman, but we know how he learned to use his powers and all that stuff from the Super Sons run and some other tie-ins from different Superman comics. Now, it's not a key thing, but something I like briefly touch on. It's Superman not being on Earth. Now, where he is, we don't know, and I think they're planning on doing a tie-in of a little crossover of Superman versus the Hulk, which is why he isn't on Earth. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I haven't heard any confirmations about that. That's more like speculation. Also, they've added in a new player to, I guess, I'm gonna say John's Superman. His I'm gonna say list of enemies to add, and it's basically like a son of Brainiac. His name is Brain Cells, where unlike Brainiac just captures people and captures cities and puts them in jars, Brain Cells he infects people. He literally, like his name insinuates, takes over their brain cells to have him do what he wants. But he isn't inherently bad from how they portray him in the comic. He's like a machine. He thinks rationally rather than emotionally. Now, the execution of it. The execution of the comic itself was actually really, really good, outside of it having, like I said, no opening to explain Brainiac of brain cells and how he became Superman. But they did a good way of telling, like, even if you were, okay, even if it had, okay, say this was issue 3. Even if you didn't read issues 1 and 2, you can still, for the most part, follow through the story because of, like, little boxes of text that Superman says in Kara, Supergirl. Now, that's personally the only really good thing they had of the execution. They actually got a lot of things wrong. Like for example, brain cells. When we first meet brain cells, he's literally just a big orb with mouths on them. I'll put a picture on the screen. And you look at him, you're wondering what the heck is this? Like first you're gonna say it's an alien. Of course it's alien. It's the child of Brainiac. It's like a new Brainiac. But the way they introduce him, they make it seem like John or Superman killed Brainiac and created brain cells to be like his successor, but a good version, which clearly backfired because Brainiac, if you know him, is a sentient AI with free will. He doesn't really work for anybody, no matter any incarnation you use him. For example, Superman Red Sun. Red Sun Superman tried to take over Brainiac and make him do what he wanted, but in the end, we found out that Brainiac still had full control over himself. Now, that's basically what happens with brain cells, apparently. And see, a big nitpick is when they showed us Superman, they showed him as a Superman who's been basically beaten down by the media. Of just because you defeat the bad guy, which is true by the way, just because you beat the bad guy doesn't mean that the work is all done. Okay, because there's still fires to put out. There's still people who are hurt and need to be helped. All you do is take out the bad guy. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, which I feel like at least a little bit of an origin as to how he is as a Superman would have been good, was he bottles up Metropolis to save them from brain cells, which doesn't make sense considering brain cells infects brain cells. It never said he only infects brain cells of people average size. So, and this is something that John even talks about to himself in the comic when Kara brings it up during a fight, because, well, spoiler, but the two of them fight. Also, basically everyone who's infected, which is Kara, everybody from Metropolis, is against Superman. It's just, they didn't do a good job of giving a story to follow. They just gave you a story. It's sort of like the Justice League movie. If you were just to watch Justice League without seeing all the previous tie-ins that came out before it, or even some of the newer movies to help you understand some little plot points like Aquaman, you're just going to be looking at a Justice League movie. Basically, that's what you're doing with this comic. You're reading a Superman comic, but you're not really understanding the story just yet, which I feel like is what the next 3 issues are going to be, because I'm pretty sure this is a 4-issue run. This is 1 of 4. Now, as far as, like I said, art goes, it's if you're more interested in the art or just for memorabilia's sake, this is perfect for that. Because this is one of the, outside of the Wonder Woman comic, this is probably the best drawn one. Now, if I had to put a list of the ones I've already read, I would put this one above of Wonder Woman in terms of art. Batman did a good job, but it wasn't really my forte. It was iffy to say the least. But now just a little bit of speculation to end this off. My theory is, for this entire future state of Superman for the next 3 issues, this is going to be it's not even I guess you could say it's a redemption arc, but we don't know what the redemption is for. It's a redemption arc as well as a self-worth arc to try and prove to himself and everyone else in Metropolis, as well as his father's cousin Kara, that he can be Superman despite not being full Kryptonian, which is a thing that also comes up in the issue, or being the original Superman with the experience. Now, how well that's going to work, we have yet to see, but so far they did I'm going to say, decent job, not a perfect job, not even, well, yeah, I'm going to say they didn't do a perfect or good job, really, because they just drop you into the story, which is basically what they do with each of the issues except for Harley Quinn and Wonder Woman. this issue, Future State Batman just drop you into a story without any real origin, no opening. So it's all over the place. So we have yet to see if they can pull it off with this, but I have hope for it, honestly, and I would honestly recommend reading Future State Superman. And that's going to be the end of this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you got any critiques, I'll be happy to hear them down below. And what were your thoughts on Future State Superman? I will see you guys in the next one. Sujin Kun out.